All right, hello and welcome. This is not a Let's Play, it's a little different, but we're going to look at 10 things that Crusader Kings 2 did better than Crusader Kings 3. Alright, so number one is game rules. In CK2, when you select who you want to play and you'd hit start, it would pop up with the game rules and you could select what you wanted to change or not change, and you could select Iron Man or not Iron Man and get started. In CK3, that doesn't happen. You hit start, it jumps you right into the game, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That is honestly workable and it's okay. What does not work is the fact that every time you have to go in and change the game rules. It's not like the settings of audio, which remembers every time you restart the game. You load up this game and it's reset the rules to default. So let's say you always like to play with nudity off because let's say you stream on Twitch, or you make YouTube videos, or you have a 6-year-old in the house and you really don't want them to walk by and see a naked person on your screen because, you know, you're a type of parent like that. I would call that a good parent, but you know, you do you. What's best for your family is best for your family. But that's a choice. Or let's say you always want to have the Hungarian migration happen immediately. Cool. It does not remember that. You have to come in and change each rule individually every single time you play. That's frustrating. I find that frustrating. I don't know if you find that frustrating. It also does not remember if you like to play on Iron Man or disable Iron Man because it always has Iron Man disabled when you load up the game. Also a little frustrating if you like to achievement hunt. Alright, number 2 is very similar to number 1 in that it is also about the game rules. In CK2, you could save presets. So you could have a multiplayer preset, you could have a single player preset, you could have a preset for if you wanted to play in India, or if you wanted to play in Europe, or you wanted to play in Africa. You could have 3 different presets and you could set them to whatever you wanted. Here, there's no presets. I can't change. All I can do is reset to default. That's it. That's my only choice. Alright, number 3 is the character finder. Now the character finder is great. You hit C, it pops up. That's so much better than having to go down and push a little button like you did in CK2. So yes, that's much better. What is not so great is the fact that you cannot select by who is willing to come to your court. You can't sort by that. There is no way. I can sort here by ascending or descending, and then I can select relation, diplomatic range, ruler, adult, gender, marital status, imprisonment status, hooks, religion, culture, dynasty. That's it. That's it. I cannot say, oh, I would like to invite someone who's not a ruler and see if they'll come to my court. I have to go through and right-click everyone to see if they will come to my court, which typically they won't because the base reluctance is always a 50. But it would still be nice. Please add that. Let us sort by that. Pretty please. With sugar on top. Alright, so number 4 is also sort of a character finder. Let's say we want to get our 10-year-old son betrothed to someone who's going to help us in a war that we're going up against. Well, the default here is relevance. Why is the default relevance? What determines relevance? Why is a 29-year-old the most relevant person to marry my 10-year-old son to? Why? And chance of children? Medium? She's 29. She'll be in her mid-30s by the time he can actually even have kids. Now, we can come here and sort, and we can do maximum age of 25. Okay, that's better. But still all adults popping up here. Why are they the most relevant when you're trying to betroth a 10-year-old? Shouldn't there be some sort of pop-up like, oh, I'm marrying a 10-year-old, the most relevant people are 20 and under? I'm confused by what the algorithm is doing here. Alright, for number 5, we're going to come back to the character finder. So one thing we could do in Crusader Kings 2 was we could save presets. So one thing I would often do would be, oh, I would like to save all adults who are in my family and who are not married. Unmarried, because then I could figure out who I could marry people to. You know, that's great. Why can't I save this here? Why do I not have any saves? Just the same issue I mentioned with the game rules. It would be really nice to be able to do that. So for number 6, we're going to take a look at the UI. One thing that we have up here is the outliner, which is pretty cool, except as far as I can tell, there's no hotkey for the outliner. And then on top of that, we have our outliner here, and you know it stays. We pop up in other menus, it stays. It's pretty cool, except we hit escape because we go out here to the main menu, or the the actual menu here, not main menu. And then we come back in, the outliner is closed up again. If I have this open, why? Why does that close that? What if I want to have the outliner open all the time? Because I've got like 6 armies, I'm managing a giant empire, and I want to be able to find them. And then I come in here to turn up the game music because I'm about to start an epic battle, and I need that game music just bursting in my ears and showing me how glorious it is. And then I come back and all my armies are hidden now. I don't understand. I like that it would stay up the entire time when you played CK2. So here's number 7. Number 7 is also about the UI. We are in a war, and let's say we want to invite our allies. We start the war. There's no pop-up up here saying, do you want to invite your allies? There's no pop-up down below here. You know, you get a pop-up to raise your troops. There's no way to, well here, let's disband our army. You have raise all armies right here, which is cool. There's no button to call allies. I would love for there to be a button to call allies, because in Crusader Kings 2, you'd get a pop-up up at the top, or you could easily go to your military screen and click a button, and it would call on your allies. In CK3, it doesn't. For you to call on your allies, you have to go to your own screen, find your ally, go to him, right-click him, go to more, and call to war. We've already called him to war, so we can't. And I understand it's supposed to be different because it does cost prestige to call people to war when you are when you are the attacker, but it could be better. And here comes number 8, which is also about the UI. So I do love the notifications over here, how there are different colors, how they pop up. That's pretty cool. What's not so cool is the fact that they slide. So let's say I open my character and then I want to go look at my council, and suddenly this is here, right in the middle of my screen. I can't see the map. I have to delete all of these if I want to see the map. Excuse me? Why? Why? Please tell me why. So for number 9, I have a kind of a big issue. I mean, it was the opposite way in CK2. In CK2, you would get a million pop-ups about every single child that was in your court, all of them needing an education focus, and it was just, oh, it was frustrating. But we've gone the opposite direction here. Because even my heir, I never got a pop-up saying, hey, your heir is now 8 years old, they can totally pick an education focus, which is kind of frustrating. I wish I would get a pop-up up at the top saying, hey, your heir is 8 years old. What would you like for him to study? No, it just automatically and randomly picks one of the 2 green ones here, which are the 2 that do well based on his one childhood trait of pensive. Okay. Learning education or stewardship education, or if I want to be really terrible, I can go with intrigue education. But I don't get that pop-up reminding me. So if you're not paying attention to exactly when your kid turns 8 years old, they could end up studying stuff you don't want them to study. It can hurt your gameplay. And here's number 10. It's also kind of about the UI, in that, you know, here's my army. I'm at war with my husband and someone else. Cool, they've got allies. That's nice. I'm not really gonna go fight. But one thing I can't do that I could do in CK2 is I could ask other people to attach to me if I was in charge of the war. I'm not here, but there's not even a button for that. I can merge armies, I can reorganize, but not going to do that. I could split off higher and special soldiers. I could just split them in half. Okay, that's cool. And then I can, you know, reorganize them between each other. That's cool too. But I can't ask my ally to come over and join his troops with mine. I can disband them. I can split off a new army and separate them. That's cool too. But that's it. I can't do anything else. I can't ask them to join and fight with me, which I think is a step backwards, because you could do that in Crusader Kings 2. You could say, I'm the leader of this war. Everyone gather your armies around me and we will go fight their huge army in a massive battle for massive amounts of war score. Nope. Here you can't do that. You just gotta hope that they're gonna attach to you, which is something I know is an issue in EU4. Why are we taking a step backwards with that? People, why? I don't understand. I would like to see an extra button here saying, hey, allies. And, you know, maybe if the ally dislikes you, but they still join the war, they might not send their troops to go stand with yours, but you could at least try. I don't know. I think that's my biggest issue. It's caused me to lose a war or two while playing around because the AI's army is off in La La Land doing something else, and I can't get them to march up and combine with my troops. There's just no way. Alright, and that was 10 things that Crusader Kings 2 does better than Crusader Kings 3. Do you agree with me? Do you have something else that you think that CK2 did better? Besides, you know, Merchant Republics and Nomads, because they're not in CK3 at all right now, but we do have hope that they will be added in the future, so that's a whole other kettle of fish. But this is what I think, and hopefully they'll get added in. Hopefully they're just little tweaks in the UI that can be sort of, you know, put in with the free patch sometime down the line. That would be awesome. Love you, Paradox. Bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more content like it, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know. Drop in on one of my Twitch streams. Tell me what you think. Bye.